You heard Joe say another ballot initiative this November is sports betting. Currently, Missouri is missing out on that stream of revenue. So the American Gaming Association says U.S. adults will wager $35 billion this NFL season. That is more than a 30% increase compared to last year. Currently, sports betting is live and legal in 38 states and Washington, D.C. New here at 6:30, a series of hearings in Missouri has focused on immigration, specifically crimes connected to undocumented border crossings. The special committee has stoked controversy and criticism. First Alert 4's Nathan Vickers went to the hearings in St. Louis today to learn about the issues they're trying to address and how local advocates for immigrants are responding.
It's an election year with immigration in focus nationally. Here in Missouri, some politicians want to examine crime stemming from cartels and how that impacts Missourians. But some critics testifying today feel that those kinds of discussions may actually harm immigrant communities. The state's Special Interim Committee on Illegal Immigrant Crimes has been meeting in several Missouri cities with the stated mission of collecting information on crime related to cartels, including the fentanyl trade and human trafficking.
What we're really concerned about is crime associated with immigration, not just by an immigrant, an illegal immigrant, but crime perpetrated against the illegal immigrant. And that kind of data is just not available to us.
Among those testifying today was Robert Stewart from the Cochise County, Arizona Sheriff's Office, which has a grant to conduct public engagement about cartel activity near the border.
The smuggling patterns that we are seeing in Arizona directly affect criminal trends across the entire country.
He believes Missouri could implement a special fentanyl task force and follow Arizona's lead in cracking down on social media use connected to drug trafficking.
They need to do a better job of using forensic extractions from those cell phones to go to the next biggest target, to the bigger target, to the bigger target. So eventually you target the people that matter.
But some critics call the committee's motivation and name racially charged.
Have we not learned from history what discrimination does?
With rhetoric they say stokes anti-immigration sentiments.
People are afraid to speak out.
And Ness Sandoval, a professor at St. Louis University who studies immigration trends, says that fear could be costing the region.
The immigrant population has not seen consistent growth, and in fact, it's decreased since the COVID-19 pandemic.
He points out that more than 80% of Missouri's counties now see more deaths than births, and says rhetoric like this may be pushing away vital immigrants who could fill a population gap.
Business leaders are concerned about the decline in our workforce. That's what the hearing should be about, is what the economic forecast for Missouri looks like in 2050, 2080. If nothing turns around.
The committee's already met in several other Missouri cities. Their final hearing will take place in Cape Girardeau. Nathan Vickers, First Alert 4.